Normal behaviors that are actually signs of mental illness. We often think of small daily habits as just normal stress or routine, but sometimes they're actually signs of deeper mental health issues we might not even notice. Let's explore the behaviors that seem perfectly normal but could be quietly signaling something more serious. Let's start right away. Think of a disaster movie. Every time you make a small mistake at work, your mind instantly plays a scene where you're fired on the streets and battling rats for pizza crusts, or your friend texts you and doesn't answer for an hour. You think, they must hate me or be stuck somewhere. This is not just worrying, it's thinking about the worst possible outcome. It's like having a personal director in your head who only makes bad movies with you as the lead. Something small in your mind gets blown up like a kid's party balloon. But instead of fun forms, you have bad dreams. On a call, your boss sounds a little irritated. A healthy mind would think, maybe they're having a bad day. A terrible brain thinks, I'm fired, I'm losing my house and my cat will always judge me. This can make you feel responsible, like you're just getting ready. But making plans is not the same as thinking the end of the world is coming because you forgot to answer an email. This type of person doesn't just picture messing up a show. One PowerPoint shows them freezing on stage, while everyone laughs getting fired, losing their job, and becoming the person who yells at pigeons in the park. This makes you very anxious because in your mind this disaster movie seems very real, like it's already happening. Studies show that most of the bad things we think will happen don't. And when they do, we're usually much better prepared for them than we thought. But try telling that to a brain that thinks a typo in a text message means the end of all ties. 6. Panic button for rejection. Have you ever felt like a small bit of abuse hit you like a punch or like it was the end of the world when someone ignored you for a second? If that sounds like something you've heard before, your brain may have a broken fear button. This is known as RSD, or rejection sensitivity distress. It's just a fancy word for having a terrible mood. RSD then means having unbearable pain because you think you've been rejected or criticized. You're not the only one who is hurt. It's like a mental A-bomb goes off inside you. Someone with RSD might become very good at making other people happy. They're scared that someone will think they're not perfect. Because any mistake feels like a terrible failure, they might become obsessed with being perfect. Or they could get very angry or cry out of the blue over something that everyone else thinks is very small. They might not go out or try new things because they are afraid of being turned down, which would make them feel terrible. The strangest thing is that the rejection doesn't even have to be real. A text message that is late can feel like an attack on your person. Seeing a friend who seems to be busy can make you think they hate you. It's like their brains are always ready to fear. They're not being showy or weak. It's just how their brain is set up. It happens a lot to people with ADHD. Experts believe that a lot of people with ADHD feel this way from time to time. Their brains just feel the pain of being turned down a lot stronger. Think about leaving a good job because of one piece of feedback that made you feel betrayed, or worried all the time that your partner is going to leave you. It's hard to be close to someone when you're afraid. That strong reaction you see, it could just be their brain's broken alarm system setting off a storm of number 5 habits they can't break. That friend who always bites their nails while watching movies. Or maybe you think you've picked at that sore 10 times today. These aren't just bad habits. These thoughts could be your brain's way of calling for help. A lot of people have BFRBs, or body-focused repetitive behaviors, but most don't know it's a real disease. First, let's talk about biting your nails. Yes, a lot of people do it, but for some it's more than just a nervous habit. They gnash their teeth and bite their nails until they bleed or the nail bed is broken, even when they really want to. Then there's picking at your skin. That, or dermatillomania. This is not popping the odd pimple. People do it for hours in front of a mirror, scratching at skin that is otherwise healthy and making cuts that turn into scars. Some people have to hide the damage all year long by wearing long sleeves. A different one is trichotillomania, which means pulling out hair. People pull out hair from their head eyebrows and even eyelashes one strand at a time until they have bald spots that they have to cover up with makeup or hats. Most people who do these things don't really know they're doing them. Their hands seem to have their own thoughts. This strong feedback comes from the brain. Fix something. Right now. And the hands do what the person says, even if they don't want to. Though the act, there's often a strange happiness. When you try to scratch an itch, you can't get rid of the pain, shame, and guilt that follow. The circle then starts all over again. These habits often get worse when people are anxious or stressed. It's the brain's crazy way of dealing with things. It's like saying, "I'm uncomfortable, so let's make it so I can control the discomfort." A lot of the time, BFRBs are caused by anxiety illnesses, OCD, or trauma from the past. The brain can't get out of a loop. The only thing your brain knows how to do is try to deal with things. The good news is that you can get help. But first, you need to understand that it's more than just a bad habit. It means you need to pay attention to something more important. 4. Stuck in routines. Some people have to hit the doorknob 3 times in a row before they can leave. Or maybe they set up their desk every morning so that everything is equally spaced. Everybody has their own little habits. But for some, these aren't just personal choices. They're urgent yelling needs from their brain that they can't avoid. This is the world of OCD control routines that no one else sees. It's not about being neat or put together. It's about being afraid that terrible things will happen if you don't do certain things. The routine is the brain's last-ditch effort to block out the fear. It's like having an electric fence around you that you can't see. If you cross that line or break the rules, your internal alarm system goes off. From the outside, these practices may look strange. Someone could wash their hands so much that they bleed. Not because they're dirty, but to get rid of a bad thought. Some people check locks over and over, sure that one missed check will lead to disaster. Some people read the same page over and over for hours. They're scared that they forgot something important that could lead to bad things. For some, everything on their desk might have to be just right before they can fall asleep. If not, a wave of intense fear will hit them. People who do these things may think they are strange, but they feel like they have to do them. What drives me crazy is that these routines almost never give me lasting relief. When the anxiety comes back, it often demands that the routine be done again, maybe even more in-depth the next time. It's a cruel loop that can keep someone up all day. The brain thinks that the bad thing won't happen if I do this. It's a trick, though. The trouble is the ritual itself. You can't choose this. You're not just being picky. The brain's alarm system is going off by mistake as it tries desperately to get back in charge of a world that feels incredibly dangerous all of a sudden. 3. When happiness goes away. When you eat your favorite food, does it ever taste like cardboard? Or your best friend tells you they're getting married but you don't feel any excitement? You might think you're just worn out, or perhaps you've grown up. This feeling of settling down has a name. No pleasure. It's when things that used to make you happy don't make you happy anymore. Think about this. Your brain has a wire for happiness. Chemokines like dopamine light up this circuit when something good happens. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy. That link is broken, though, in people with anhedonia. There's laughter at the party you go to. You should be having fun, but you think you're seeing things through a window. There are 2 kinds. When you have social anhedonia, being around other people makes you feel empty. You don't want to go when your friends ask you. It's called bodily anhedonia, when feelings in the body lose their spark. Anhedonia isn't a disease in and of itself. It is a main sign of a number of mental illnesses, especially major depression disorder. It can also happen to people with anxiety conditions, and after being stressed for a long time. If the good things in life have left, it's not because you're being hard to please. It means that there may be something more going on. The trap of comfort. Think about having a "are you sure" question play over and over in your head, and never being happy with the answer. This is too much looking for comfort. The only thing that can briefly turn off the anxiety alarm is a steady stream of "yes, you're okay." You text someone. No answer right away. You think they're busy, but your brain tells you they're mad at me. I made a mistake. You ask your friend if they're mad at you. For a short time they say no. Thanks. But then the worry comes back. You wonder, what if they're just saying I should ask again to be sure? The point is not to learn something new. Most of the time, the person asking already knows or has been told the answer more than once. It has to do with getting rid of a very bad feeling of worry or uncertainty. The trouble is that it's a scam. More you look for comfort, the more your brain needs it to feel calm. They might keep saying they did small wrongs years ago in order to get told it's okay. Or they might spend hours searching for symptoms on Google to be sure that a usual headache isn't a brain tumor. Every time someone reassures you, it gives you a small amount of relief, which makes you want to ask again the next time your worry builds up. It keeps going and going. They're meant to keep asking questions until a certain level of comfort is reached. But that line is just a dream. It keeps going. It's not trying to get attention. A lot of people with anxiety illnesses and obsessive-compulsive disorder do this thing over and over again. The brain is desperately trying to find certainty in a world that isn't sure what will happen. But the search for 100% confidence never ends, and it can be very hard on those around them. Think about being asked over and over again every day. The person who wants to feel better isn't trying to be annoying. A lot of the time they're really upset and stuck in a cycle where the only answer that seems to help is one that never really sticks. Choose to be frozen. Ever look through Netflix for 45 minutes and not watch anything? Or stayed in the cereal aisle for so long that security started looking at you funny? This isn't just not knowing what to do. This is called choice paralysis. It's your brain's ways of telling you that something more important is going on. Think about this. There you are in a restaurant. He or she asks you what you want. A simple question. But your mind turns into a machine that runs through all the worst-case scenarios. Would you mind if I use cold pasta? What will happen if the chicken makes you sick? What if you make the wrong choice and everyone criticizes you? In your mind, ordering lunch just turned into a matter of life and death. Picky people aren't the only ones who have choice paralysis. They are stuck in a loop in their minds, trying very hard not to make the wrong choice. They're looking forward to that perfect guarantee that never comes. They freeze, and it can last for hours or days. They let other people make choices for them sometimes. This isn't just about small things like what socks to wear. It gets into everything. Career moves are put off forever. Relationships don't move forward. Because choosing a new place to live means giving up things people hate. People stay in apartments they hate. The brain's fear response gets messed up to the point where picking up a sandwich is as stressful as defusing a bomb. This can happen to about 20% of people who have anxiety disorders. That means that for 1 in 5 people, the choices they make every day are like mental torture. You can always play the what-if game. Your mind turns against you and keeps you stuck in a never-ending loop of options. So if you can't decide what to do when other people make choices without thinking, it might not be a quirk of yours. Your brain could be setting off a clear warning. That's all for today. I'll make more films like this in the future. Sign up to see them.